Welcome once again to Registered Resident Occupant. And what I have here are some cleaning products that I have. And I keep these in my personal care room cabinet away from the foyer so that guests that are in the foyer don't get into these particular products. I don't invite anyone back here, but sometimes maintenance individuals come back in my personal care room. And one time I was talking to my older caretaker couple and I said, I'll show you the deepest secret condition that I have in my residence. If that's what you really think you want to do and see in my residence, when they were visiting me, and they said, oh yes, we went to see all those secret things. And so I brought them back to my personal care room and I showed them under the cabinet. This is where I keep these cleaning products. These are dangerous to 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds and preschoolers and also some primary. And they have to be told by their older caretaker, do not touch these things. These are adult only condition, only to be used by parental guidance instruction. So some primary do use these products, but it's by parental guidance instruction that they do so. And so once again, just left to right in this particular instance, and that's Mr. Clean, and that is a sanitizer, and that's controlled by federal government dissolution in water. One has to be careful about the condition, the process, the measure of the concentrate, the measure of the water, and that's the thing that's a federal regulated product. And the tidy bowl, that you put that in the toilet tank, and it keeps the water cleaner than it would be otherwise between toilet bowl cleanings, and the bottle lasts you about a month or so. And that's individual use. And here's the OxyClean, that's a carpet stain remover, and also a certain cloth remover that can remove some stain, but it's not the cure-all for stains, but I have used that sometimes. Here's a glass cleaner that's in a refillable bottle. You can buy glass cleaner, concentrate, and refill, and so you just pour it in a refillable bottle, and you can use that time and time, buy and buy that refillable, that spray bottle there. And here's some Raid House and Garden. I use that as a deterrent. On a regular basis, I spray those fenestration screens and around the doors to deter insects from being in my residence so they can live their life separate from my interior life in my residence and be outside in the environment. And so this here is a Mr. Clean concentrate. That's a federally regulated dissolution. Also, be careful with the measure, get the dissolution right, and those types of products, as all these, the federal government recommends that you use them according to the instruction on the container, and don't be trying them for different things other than the instruction on the container. And as one told me some time ago also, effort not to be stirring and spraying and mixing these particular products together. They're intended to be used individually, uniquely, as they are individual products alone and not stirred together. And so here is this Pledge Multi-Surface, and that is a product specifically designed for electronic casing cleaning, and it also has a condition in what's said to be other use in granite and formica, if you like that's a brand name, glass, and other materials also. This Glade, that's an air freshener. If I poo in the toilet, I spray the personal care room with the Glade before I come out. And the Scotch Guard, that's sprayed on upholstery, pillows, things that might get stained, and it's just extra protection to have that cleaning go easier. And you can also spray on your outer cloth, and it does repel some water outside if it sprinkles outside or something. You don't want to get sprinkled and the water soaked into your outer cloth. And so here now also is this carpet upholstery cleaner. It's got a brush, and sometimes I spray that on the upholstery material in the area rug, and I scrub it in, and I let it sit for an amount of time, and I vacuum it off after that. And then this here is the Pledge Extra Moisturizer, and I use that on treat part casing that has a polish on it and has what's said to be, the more general term is sacrificial cladding, whatever it happens to be. It might be It might be a polyurethane, it might be a lacquer, it might be, as it's called, what was that called? Was it lacquer? It wasn't polyurethane, it was shellac, I think it was. And there's other things also that go on tree bark. And you can place a pledge extra directly on tree bark, but I think more in the modern condition that goes on the sacrificial cladding that's already on the tree bark. And so some people, they did know waxing tree barks with a wax, and some people would wax tree barks with beeswax, and the Johnson Company does have other waxes also specifically for tree barks. And I put that pledge on tree bark casing and door also that already have a sacrificial cladding over the tree bark. And so that's that portion in the personal care room cleaning product. And then I have a couple of other products in the kitchen that I use. So let's go ahead and step on in there, and I'll show you those couple of cleaning products also. And here we are in the kitchen. And what I have in here is what's said to be two types of product by the same company underneath the kitchen sink. And here's one that's Palmolive Original, and that's a non-government federally regulated product, and you can use it in whatever concentration you have a liking. I use it in my dishwashing condition in what's stated to be 4.5 tablespoons in 1 quart in water. And then I get it in a spray bottle and I spray it 8 times in the sink, and that becomes my dishwater. This Palmolive here, it's antibacterial. That is federally regulated. There's a particular concentration for that in water dissolution. And both these products can be used in dishwashing. They can be used on counter, anywhere in the kitchen. It can be used on the flooring. It can be used on the ceiling, on the cabinets. Anywhere in the kitchen where you want to clean, and that's the green, and you want to sanitize, and that's kind of the yellow-orange there. And so those are the other two products I use in cleaning in my residence, and that's this time in Registered Resident Occupant.